Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Inside the Walls podcast. Man, it feels like we're just been podcasting all week there, Jeff. 2-hour episode on Monday. We had another 2-hour episode yesterday on Through the Wire. Now we're back in. Not going to be 2 hours tonight, but this is episode 1 of our quarterback series of the NAL. We'll be interviewing all the starting or projected starting quarterbacks of the National Arena League from these episodes forward. This is episode 163. Jeff, we're without our partner in crime, Matt, but I think we got it.
Yeah, and in the words of Tio, that's my quarterback.
Well, that is your quarterback. You cover him.
No, I'm excited for tonight. Definitely going to be an awesome show. And introduce the NAL fans to Grant Russell.
Yeah. So please don't do like Terrell Owens and say that is your quarterback. So. But again, I want to say to everyone who tuned in last Monday or this past Monday night of the NAL reveal show, wow, it's incredible. The support that we got, the numbers that we did get is outrageous, incredible. Numbers are still coming in. The last time I checked, we surpassed 4,322 views. We have reached or impressions over 6,000, and all but 3 states viewed it, so not bad for that episode. And it's all for the National Arena League. So again, we did it for the National Arena League. Hopefully everyone enjoyed that. We had some good clips. We still have more clips from that episode going to be dropping here over the next couple of days from that episode with Coach Rez, Coach Shaw, the boys from Sioux City, and of course our little fun conversations we had with Tatum and yeah, we could say Todd Walkenhorst a little bit, but it wasn't really exciting because Todd was really business, straightforward to the point.
Laying down the law.
Yeah, basically. He was throwing strays, like how we do what Coach Rez says all the time. But Jeff, you have the honor of introducing this guy, and to the fans of Wheeling, he's already back. He's not in Hawaii because I know that was a big thing for the championship week, and that was the main storyline. So, Jeff, you got the honors.
All right. So let me introduce the projected starter for the Wheeling Miners, MVP of the league we were in last year, Grant Russell.
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Been working overtime this week. I feel like Jim said, we've been podcasting every day.
Every single day feels like.
You guys have been killing it. You guys have been killing it.
So where you want to start, Grant? A lot of people in the NAL probably may not know you. You have history from the old AFL days, and you basically dominated the AAL last year as you're the MVP. But you also have one of the most intriguing storylines. You decided to get married, go on your honeymoon, and the people in Wheeling were just going crazy for 2 weeks. And then you failed to tell me and Jeff, or me, I was bugging you for the whole day before the game. 6.5, 7.5 was the touchdown. And he goes, I'm not betting. And sure enough, he threw for 6 touchdowns. And you came up to me during the championship celebration. It's like, yep, I should have made that bet with you, Jim. And I was right at 6. But again, another off season, and you went back to Willing. I know Coach Rez he basically said multiple times on this show that you were QB1 and his goal was to get you back. Now that you're back with Willing and you see all the guys that Rez is bringing back, what's your thoughts about this year's team so far?
I'm excited because, I feel like last year, our first year being together as a franchise and just a team, I think that we gelled incredibly well. We had great team chemistry, and Coach, we have a lot of those core guys coming back, but then we have a lot of great adds that Coach made on the side of that too with guys that are coming in. So, I think that's going to be huge for us because we're going to be familiar from day one. I've been in the works of trying to get something together to get us together for the guys that are, kind of local to Wheeling, so we could try to get some work in, just little things like that. Because I think last year, again, just us and how close we were led us to, great places, and we want to try to resemble that again this year. So very excited, ultimately.
You and AC have been working out on Sundays still, right?
Yeah, we do like Sunday mornings, which is nice. I said that on the Boys of the Wheel podcast. So that backdrop right there of the High Stadium, on a Sunday morning, you can't beat it. It's beautiful. Whether you like a High State or not, you gotta respect that, especially the architecture and the history behind that stadium itself. So that's always nice. But yeah, we've been doing that just once a week right now. Trying to start turning things up as we get into December. And into January for sure. But yeah, we started that about a month ago now, so it's been good.
I remember having the conversation with a couple colleagues of mine, and they were talking about what quarterbacks outside of the IFL do you deem to be the top tier quarterbacks. And then there's guys that people like Drew Pyle was thrown out there. TJ Edwards was another guy thrown out there, and that's like you could just go and pass Grant Russell, like. He was a stud in the AFL, and then he decided to just go somewhere else. He didn't play ball, and everyone forgot about you. And then you go in this last year with Willing, and looked like you didn't skip a beat from your days in the AFL. And I'd say, yeah, I think Grant Russell's one of the top 5 quarterbacks. And on some days, he's the best quarterback in the industry because there's some games I saw you last year. No one could stop you. You were throwing balls on target. You're making DBs freaking look like they were JV players. And you were showing out. And so when this colleague said, let me go look at him. So he went to go look at you and goes, oh, and he's, oh, that's the old Columbus Destroyer guy. Like, yes, that's him. And so last year you won the MVP. This year you're going to the NAL, and now the quarterback room has, how can I say this? You can say it's more balanced, or the level has gotten higher because you got Verlon Reed in Sioux City. You have Taz Wilson in Omaha, and you have Whitaker in Colorado. And you got the other quarterbacks that are about to sign that the teams are about to announce here pretty soon. Now you're going up against guys that you used to play in the AFL days. Mm-hmm. Now they're the head guys in these organizations. Unfortunately, Willing doesn't play Omaha this year. Probably maybe in the championship game for Willing fans, and we may have a chance there. But you do face Verlon Reed twice, home and away, and he is from the state of Ohio. So there's history there. Was there any college history between you two?
So when I was a senior at Newark, he played at Findlay. He was a quarterback at Findlay. And they had played Ohio Dominican on like CBS Sports Network because Ohio Dominican was like undefeated that year. So they were on like the college D2 showcase. So I got to see him on TV. But other than that, no, he was, I think, like 5 years older than me. So I never ran into him in college. But, I got nothing but respect for all of these quarterbacks in this league. But, with that being said, I love it though, that's what we play the game for. We want it to be competitive. We want to play against somebody that's, just as good as you. You want to push each other. So I'm excited for the chance to play against these guys, duel it out, because that's what arena football is at the end of the day. Even with indoor rules, it relies, a lot on the quarterback. And then, like you had said, a lot of people have forgotten about me, but that's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm the type of guy that likes to kind of fly under the radar and just do my job and do what I need to do and take care of mine and go home at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So that's perfectly fine. They can keep on overlooking me, but I'm just going to go out and perform, you know?
Well, I expect that from a QB. So,
For sure.
Jeff.
Jim, do you have the his college stuff?
Oh, yeah, I got it right here.
Yeah, there it is. Boom.
Wow.
Yeah.
The other
Look at
ODU.
that. Wow.
You got to tell people before you make my face that big, man. That's gonna scare
My fault, Grant. My fault.
Oh, that's all good.
But let's talk about this a little bit. You know, two-time Harlan Hill finalist, which is the Division II Heisman, and then declared an all-decade quarterback. What's that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot, man. You know, I had Dominican has a short stint as a Division II program, but in that stint, you know, they've had a lot of great players come through there. My true freshman year, we went to the Elite Eight and ended up losing to Colorado State Pueblo. So that was a super unique experience. We're very, very good. But just all the talent I had around me. And, you know, that goes hand in hand of everywhere I've been successful as a quarterback. I've had immense talent around me. Same thing at Wheeling. But I had great coaches at ODU. I had Bill Conley, Kelly Cummings. I had Zach Bruni as my quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, who's the head coach at Wheeling Jesuit University. So there's a good Wheeling tie. Todd Goebel was also my offensive coordinator, and Chris Reiser was my offensive coordinator, who's a head coach at Gardner-Webb right now. So I owe a ton of that to them. They made my life super easy there. You know, I felt like I was just back in the pocket, and, you know, guys were wide open, and I was delivering the football. So I owe it all to them. You know, again, we just did a really, really good job in our scheme and our preparation over there, and it paid dividends too, because we were a really talented offense at Ohio Dominican.
When I saw ODU on your name, and I remember watching you back in the AFL days, I'm like, Old Dominion, they didn't have a football. Then I look and said, that's the other ODU.
Yeah, I've heard people said that for sure. They do mix it up, but I always let them know that's Ohio Dominican, baby.
Well, you know, in this sport, especially in Wheeling, there's a lot of players at D2, D3, NIA. That's the level. That was their opportunity to get in college, and they made it, and they got to this level of competition. Now you're going to be playing up against guys that even have NFL experience, who have played in the NFL, and you're going to go up against guys who they were on a practice squad, missed it, and now this is their second opportunity. And you've seen it even in last year in the AAL. You got guys who got cut from the Philadelphia Soul practice squad, play for the Jersey Bearcats, because we got agreed Jersey Bearcats last year were a pretty tough squad. They were scrappy. As a quarterback, especially in the arena game, you know how the transition is every single season. You know how rosters completely flip every single year. You look at Wheeling's transactions, that's a good chunk of dudes coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the dudes up front who protect you.
They're studs, man. They're studs. They absolutely are.
Now that you got your homeboys back, basically, you already have chemistry with them. How big is that for you as a quarterback, knowing that you had 3 guys that you went to battle with for 10 games last year?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, again, when you can line up and you trust every other person that's on the same side of the ball as you, you're good. And, you know, that just alludes into confidence when you're playing. So it's huge. Again, that goes back to us and our chemistry and our success last year. So again, that's just going to be us building on it again from day one. You know, we're not all meeting for the first time. That's been there, done that. You know, we're brothers at this point. So we know what our end goal is and where we want to get to. And, you know, that's what we're going to work towards. What's up, Coach? Appreciate you, man.
Hopefully you don't get astray from Coach. A Wheeling coach, you need to make T-shirts. Don't catch a stray. Sell that in Wheeling. People will get it. You have you look at the team this year and the schedule. You got Harrisburg down the street. not really down. What you say was, Jeff, like 3.5, 4 hours? So it's
About 4.5 hours, yeah.
a little together, like a little. You can feel like it wants to become a rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
But over to this offseason and with Coach Rez's ties, we see it. Carolina is based on the show last night and based on the fan poll from Willing, Carolina's now the most anticipated game. As a player, are you more worried about the rivalry aspect of a game, or is your focus as a player get better each play, each day, and get ready for the first game? Or is there games that you, as a player, you look, you go, I want to play in that game. I think that's going to be a big game, especially Carolina.
Get better each day, every rep to prepare for that first game. I feel like that's, what I'm doing right now. When we go and meet on Sunday mornings, I'm out there and, 40-degree weather outside throwing, and that's all to lead to that first game. I feel like at this point in my life, 29 years old, it's kind of, I don't really like to deal with the nonsense aspect of that this work can bring at times. So I just try to stay down and focus on what I can control, what I can control. That's the same thing I try to tell my kids that I coach at the middle school level. Just control what I can control, do what I need to do, and, go home and handle the business. So that's how we're going to – that's how we're going to treat it. What's that?
Drama's the good part of the business.
No, it's good for views, but like I'm not with it.
That's how you get people to click on your links.
That's perfectly fine. It's just that's not me. You know what I mean? And it is what it is.
You just place name and say talks trash about organization. Someone will click it, even though that person didn't say it. That's how you get people to your links. I won't do it say Russell did this. I'm not going to say it, but that's how fake drama starts. But I think Coach Rez, especially me and Jeff doing the coaches show with Through the Wire every Wednesday night, you can tell the energy that we have against certain teams in our area, Harrisburg, Carolina, and Columbus. Try and spice it up because there is history between all three organizations with Coach Rez. He coached at all three of them at one point. As a player, there are other teams in the NAL that look like they're building good squads. Some stud quarterbacks, Verlon Reed, we just mentioned, Taz Wilson, Omaha. Is there any team outside of the notable ones that that's on the schedule that you're like, I like to see what that team is. I can't wait to get there because I think they have a great challenge to my ability that make me a better player?
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to feel that way about most teams we play. You know what I mean? I know that's a cliche answer and it's probably not what anybody wants to hear, but it's true though. Like I haven't seen a lot of these teams on film. It's a different type of rules than what I'm normally used to as well. So just film study, just go back to the roots of how, I'm able to get to where I'm at in the game, and that's film study. So, as soon as we have a game down the road, we do have a lot of those bye weeks early on in the season. Mm-hmm. It's not just beating the teams in the off season. It's in the season too. You know what I mean? Out working them in the film room, out working them in the weight room. So just worrying about that. But I'm excited to see all the teams because again, it's a different competition. We're going to places that we haven't been before, playing in front of people we haven't played in front of. That's just what's most exciting about making this next step into the NAL too.
You mentioned about the rules being different. Now, it kind of opens the playbook up for you a little bit. You ran a good bit last year, but you're going to be able to run more this year. Coach has mentioned you were kind of changing your body a little bit to try to combat for that. Yeah,
trying to cut down a little bit. Just to I know that with the indoor rules, mobile quarterbacks are deadly. I feel like I can go throw for throw with just about anybody. But being able to have legs that separate myself from other quarterbacks, that's going to be a huge difference maker. So that's been a key focal point for me thus far in this offseason process. And we still got a few months left before camp. So there's still time to improve. Just working every day towards that. No matter what it is, just having the goal, where I want to be with the weight. And if I'm there, I'll feel good and we should be set and ready to roll. But yeah, I appreciate Rez bringing that up too, man. And I'm excited. Yeah, Coach asked if I was excited to work with Coach Leota. I definitely am. I reached out to him. We've been back and forth in text. So I'm really excited to work with him. I know that he calls a mean offense and I'm looking forward to seeing what all he's going to bring to the table. So just try to be a sponge with that, because a lot of these guys, I know that I'm looked at as an older arena quarterback, but again, I've only played it for 2 years, so I'm still learning too. So it's going to be great to play with, continue to be around guys like Rez and Leota that have been around the game for so long. I'm excited for that opportunity again.
That's an interesting question I never asked players, because I know I've asked Mason similar questions, Mason Espinoza. You're 29. Is it insulting when somebody's, oh, you're 29, you're an old person for the game? And you're like, you're freaking 29.
It's funny. I got that a lot last year, and it was just because when the last time I had played football, I was 22. No, I'm sorry, I was 23 years old in Columbus, and I was a rookie. And the next time that I played football, I was 28 years old and grandpa. So, I was getting called grandpa by a couple of the guys. And I was like, wait, what? Man, this is my second year playing pro. What do you mean? So it was funny. I just laugh about it. It's all in good fun. So.
Well, you got the GOAT himself, freaking Tom Brady. What was it, 42 when he finally retired?
Yeah.
Come on, you have, that's what, 13 more years in you? Come on, you can do that.
Oh, man.
Look at the face expression. It's
perfect. Let's take it one game at a time.
So
he's just a madman.
Week 1 last year, we were on the road. Week 1 this year, we're at home. How excited are you to start at home and drop that banner on that first night?
Oh, that'll be neat. That'll be a neat experience. It's something I have not been a part of. So that will be unique. And just being at home, like you said, I know that the fans in Wheeling have been excited since the day after the championship. They've been excited for this season upcoming. So I know that they're going to pack the house. Like you guys said, Harrisburg has a really good following as well, very respected organization in the arena football. So their fans are going to travel well too. So it's going to be popping, man. It's going to be Monday Night Football. It's going to be legit. Really, really looking forward to it.
Monday Night Football. Seems like there should be a certain podcast there on Monday Night Football. Just saying.
It's not a bad idea.
But the season starts in March, training camps in February, and it's a 13-week season, 3 bye weeks. And you see in the schedule during the season, it's game by game by. As a player, do you mind the bye weeks, or you want the bye weeks and you're spread out a little bit?
It'd be nicer if they were spread out, but it is what it is. It's the cards we were dealt, so we just got to deal with them. And I think on those bye weeks, especially them being early, it's going to help us set the tone for how we want to finish the rest of the season. So we hone in on those bye weeks and get good work in and figure out what things we need to do better. With them being so early on, I think that's going to give us a nice leg up as we head on to the second half of the season.
Coach Rez is becoming the
I was going to say, he's got the good questions tonight.
I didn't even see it. What did he say? So he the same as to play for OCS, coach 4 to 6 QBs. Very excited to be looked at as next QB. I'm excited to be the next QB to have success in his system for sure. In successful systems. Again, I like being around football, like especially arena football minds, such good arena football minds. So, there's no pressure at all. I just got to, do what my job is. That's it. Just do my job at the end of the day. Play really, really, really hard. And then, let everything else fall into place. I think that's just always how my mindset has been, Coach. So, I don't really try to feel that pressure. There's no need to feel that pressure. There's already too many things, too many ways your mind can bend and move as a quarterback. You already got to read a million things at a time. So the last thing I need to feel is pressure from, so I just got to go out and play. So that's why I'm excited, just to be able to go play. I guess, I'm excited to play for anybody, really. But having Coach Leota and you again, Coach Rez, man, I'm excited for it.
Jeff, correct me. The highest point scored by an offensive coordinator is Loretta.
Yep, correct.
What was the total?
120 something. And then he averages 65 points per career game.
Excuse me, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's almost like a touchdown per play almost on offense.
Yeah, that's clicking on all cylinders.
How can that still amazes me? 127 points. Like,
Mhm.
was the other team not moving the ball and the clock kept stopping? But it was a running clock. That's just
Yeah.
that's outrageous.
Yeah, it is.
We have also another question. Jonas Summit asked, "Are you excited playing traditional power or blue buds in this industry like Sioux City and Omaha?"
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've always had even when I wasn't playing arena football, I was still watching arena football. So I've always had a lot of respect for these franchises, and a lot of these franchises that have reached out to me to want me to play for them in the past. So I always have a mutual respect for that because they had taken interest in me at one point. So just excited for the opportunity. Because again, I've been watching some of these teams play for 4 years, so now I can go out and play against them. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that is a good question.
A lot of our fan bases know you as just simply 12. Is there a reason behind the fact that you've wore 12 your entire career?
Yeah, it's a great question, man. It's a shout out to my brother Rob. He wore 12 when I was a kid, and that was my role model. So I always wanted to kind of be like him, and he wore 12, so I wore 12, and it's just kind of stuck. No matter what, he's at my games and always supporting me, and that's been always the go-to ever since I was a kid. Was because of my brother.
Ask you a little bit of besides the last year's championship game, what was the most memorable moment of the 2024 season?
The most memorable moment. I think that first home win against Jersey, because that was my first time performing in front of my family and friends again too, for the first time in forever. So I was super, super excited for that. And again, it was kind of a hectic day too because I taught school that day and then drove straight to Wheeling and suited up and warmed up real quick and got the game going. But to win the way we did too, scoring a rushing touchdown to end the game in front of everybody, it was sweet. I took a lot of pride in that, and being able to have all my loved ones around me, man, it was an unreal feeling.
Alex Coleman, a teammate, will you have the most swag at QB in the NAL this year?
I can leave that up to debate.
Oh no, shoot your shot! You're QB1. Let's go.
No, I'll leave it up to debate, but I try to go off of what Dion said, right? Look good, feel good, play good, pay good. So keep going by that motto.
Oh, so now you're going to be doing Aflac and commercials. Be right next to Nick Saban, Deion Sanders, and look, it's Grant Russell.
That's too funny.
How do you get there? Come on. But yeah, that's what Deion says, and he lives by it, and he was coached that way too.
Mm-hmm.
He got the name Primetime from the legendary coach Bobby Bowden, and his career shot off through the roof right there.
Yeah.
Cowboy, Niner, Falcon, Redskin. He's a legend, Hall of Famer, head coach. Two of the talented players over there in Colorado. I think Hunter is either number 1 or number 2 pick this year's draft. So he knows how to coach.
Yeah.
He knows how to program. And a question on a previous podcast we asked, as players, you have connections to a lot of things. Who is the most famous person on your phone right now?
The most famous person on my phone right now? I don't even know if I have.
And Coach Rez should not be the answer.
That's a good one. And I'm honestly not sure. I don't really have anybody to take note of that you guys would be outside of like players that you guys know. But
any NFL players?
No NFL players. I got like some old like Division I coaches in there from back when I was getting recruited and stuff that carried over. But no, I don't have any NFL players on there.
Jeff, you got any famous players on your phone or people on your phone?
Grant Russell, Alex Coleman. No.
So you're saying I have the only NFL player? That's
I was
odd.
gonna say I can go down the list.
Well, mine's a current coach in the NFL, so
There you go.
Nice.
Mark Brunell.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he played at
Jaguar
he go to West
legend.
Virginia. He go to West Virginia.
No, he went to Washington, I think,
Oh, he went to Washington. Okay, Brunel.
and he was the Jaguars' first big-time quarterback.
Yeah, yep.
Mhm.
Only reason why I got his numbers because I was trying to get him for some podcasts I was doing like 5 years ago, and never really got him on, and have his numbers still to this day. Many people outside Jacksonville don't even know who that is, but yeah. As a quarterback, you should know a lot of NFL quarterbacks. I've asked questions to a lot of these players, and some of the names I'm getting, I'm like, how the heck do you know that dude? Like, whoa! Like I got Deion Sanders, I've gotten Bill Belichick, I've gotten I think Bob should remind me. He's the host of the show with me. What's his name? Crap. I'll pass. Jeff, ask a question. I'll let me ask Bob. It's ridiculous how big this guy's name was.
So, Grant, you brought up the fact that you're excited to play all these teams, but you look at the away games. What arena are you most excited to travel to?
I'm excited to play in the First Horizon Coliseum. I think I said last time I was on with you guys on the Boys on the Wheel, playing in Greensboro just because I'm a Duke basketball fan. I was a huge Duke basketball fan growing up, so I saw JJ Redick make 1,000,000 threes in the Greensboro Coliseum. So being able to go play in that same arena would be sweet. I did that before too. Like when we played in Columbus and Philadelphia, JJ played for the Sixers too, so that was kind of neat. Being able to go play in Greensboro, that would be cool. I've seen it on TV a million times, and then playing in Sioux City would be a neat environment as well. I know you guys were talking about that last night. It's pretty unique, so I know the fans will be fired up over there. That'll be a neat little road trip for us.
Tyson Event Center is the name of the building in Sioux City.
Chicken coop.
As our co-host Matt will say, is a chicken coop. Yes.
Good old Tyson chicken.
Yes.
But no, they say it's a neat environment because they say it's got like that old school dingy feel to it, and then they have black turf too, so that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah,
Square end zones.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Square end zones too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's a legit field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't see that a whole lot anymore.
No, because the arenas are all rounded in. That's how the new designs of arenas are now. It's just if it has a hockey ring, that's where the field goes, and they use the dasher board, which is where the hockey rink is. Greensboro is a interesting stadium. It has history, home of the ACC championship basketball tournament. Legends played there: Jordan, Vince Carter. Well, ACC basketball legends. The list could go on forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you've played for the Columbus Destroyers, so you've had a chance to play in Philadelphia, play in Atlantic City, play in Cleveland. Now you're going to the actual field. Last year, you didn't play in legit arenas. The only arena was West Banco that you played in.
Yep.
Now you're going to actual legit arenas. You're going to the Columbus Civic Center in the very final week of the season. You're going to Sioux City. You're going to Shreveport. You're going to Harrisburg. As a player, does the venue that you go to really set the tone? Like, I guarantee if you go to you're expected to play a football game, and you go into a barn and you're like, this doesn't really feel like arena football. But you go to like the Wells Fargo arena where the Soul used to play. That's night and day compared to the arenas you played in last year.
Yeah, I think that's why it was so humbling last year, that first away game. I just kind of stood there with Rez and, just kind of took a deep breath and kind of looked at each other like, hey, well, let's make sure we're not back here. It'll be nice to play in these different places in arenas. That's what I'm excited about. And again, last year was just so humbling. And, respect to those organizations that we played to, those guys are working hard and they're trying to make it to a higher level of ball. But being able to have, that height to be able to throw the ball up or just in general, being in a different environment. But at the end of the day, it didn't really matter. We were out there, even if we were in a barn, how it kind of felt a couple of those games we were going to go out and play. We proved that we won those games when we were in different environments. So at the end of the day, we don't care where we're playing. We don't care if we're playing in a parking lot. We'll roll the ball out and start playing. Again, it'll be cool. It'll be unique, but it's not anything that, we've played in these similar environments, if not bigger environments. So it's going to be no thing. We just got to go out and do our job at the end of the day.
Jeff?
So AC brought it up about the quote unquote swagginess, but you're like me. You're a big uniform guy. What's your thoughts on our uniforms for this upcoming season? They're just kind of a flip of last year. Last year we had the blue with the black sleeves. We're rolling with the black uniforms with the blue sleeves this year.
Yeah, I think they look clean. I like them. I've always been a big uniform guy for sure. So when I saw them, I was like, oh, okay, we can figure something out for sure. And those look nice. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Rez is doing a phenomenal job getting all those things in order for us and making sure we're looking good. That's always something that he puts emphasis on. All the guys really, really appreciate that. So yeah, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, those all white aways will be nice, and then the alternate yellows that say the Valley across them.
I got to slim down for those all white. So, slim down a little bit. But yeah, they look sweet for sure.
There's some jerseys that the local team here, Jacksonville, had last year, and I'm seeing these big 350 offensive linemen and the jerseys that they put on. Like, how do you put that on?
Takes a village.
It must be. I'm like, is there a machine that just stretches it out and it's like, okay, hold your breath because this is going to hurt when it snaps?
No, those poor boys have a time getting into those things, man. I'm telling you.
Like when I played football, the jerseys were baggy. Like it's like it's opposite. Like in basketball, remember everything was like shorts. Everything was tight in basketball back in the day. Now everything's just long and loose. In football, it's the opposite. It was long, and now it's all freaking. Like I can't. If I played offensive lineman, I'll lose my crap. I can't walk around doing this. Like no. I don't know how. I remember talking to Thornton last year, and he goes, he was like, it's tight, but you got to get through it. I'm here to win. I'm like, okay. It's like, he looked like he was just walking like a freaking stiff board. I'm like, I don't know how you can get in a 3-point stance when you have zero mobility with those jerseys. And it's not just Willings jerseys. It's almost the style jersey is in the sport today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of how it is. Those guys, once they get it on and get moving around, I think it ends up being okay. But it's a struggle at first for sure.
That's a good comment. I'm not gonna put it up there. You can follow on. That's what makes it. It's facts. How can I? The offseason we're slightly, coming to the end. We've got about 3 months. Seems like yesterday it just started. Mm-hmm. Besides training and getting back into shape, what do you do for fun? Golf, basketball?
Well, it's funny you say that because my wonderful wife, just commented the last comment in the feed. So just spend a lot of time with her, spend a lot of time with her and try to spend a lot of time with my family. That's been a point of emphasis for sure. We're actually going to have my family over to the new house over the weekend, so I'm really excited for that. But just trying to do that. We got 10 nieces and nephews now, so they're all growing quickly. They're all from the age of newborn to 16 years old. So they're all over the place. They're doing all of the things. We don't always get to go see them, unfortunately, but anytime we can, we really, really appreciate it. So just, trying to do that, that's enjoyable for me. And I'm a big video game head. I'll play. I guess video game head, college football. I played college football a lot.
You don't want this smoke.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, Jim. We might have to see.
You can't play with Ohio State, and I can't play with Florida State. You got to pick some random teams.
It's fine, Jim. Hey, I'm just telling you, Jim. I get paid to read defenses now. I'm telling you.
I get paid to talk about defenses.
I love it, but no, I play I have an online dynasty with two of my best friends, and we enjoy playing that. Just whenever we can fit a game in together or whatever. It's just busy. I've been really busy with teaching, and I coached at the middle school that I teach at. So those 12-hour days during the middle school football season were long. So those had just come to an end. So I kind of got some more time to be around my wife and get some things done around the house. So I'm looking forward to that.
Huh, I agree.
Simple man. I'm a simple man. So I don't need much, man. I don't need much.
You still don't want the smoke.
We're gonna have to set it up. We're gonna have to set it up, Jeff. You're gonna have to make sure it's streamed. We're gonna have to do it.
I'll take care of that.
I'll do the most epic thing in the first play. I'll just run halfback dive up the middle, like how the NFL is. Just
There you
halfback
go.
dive.
My wife reminded me. I do like to play golf. I completely forgot to tell you guys that. Also, I do like to golf in my spare time. I like to golf with my father-in-law. Him and I go golfing often when we can. I just like to be able to get out. I'm not very good, so I like to get my money's worth. But it is fun. It's kind of my how people like to go fishing. I like to go golfing.
Well, I golf and I just go to golf. The goal is just to try to stay sober. Because I know I'm not. The goal is to hit the little ball before the big ball, and the big ball gets hit a lot. I suck at golf, so
Yeah, it's a tough
I
game.
have fun. Yeah.
Tough game. Got a lot of respect for it. That's for sure.
Brian asked in the chat, if you weren't playing quarterback and you could play another position, what will it be?
Oh man, Brian, that's a good question. I think tight end because I don't think the speed's there for me to be a receiver. But we're working on it though. We're working on it. All right. But I played when I was in 5th and 6th grade. I was too heavy to touch the football. There was a weight limit rule, so I played center. And I enjoyed that aspect of it, which I know not most people say. So I think I'd like to play tight end though, that blocking aspect and going out and catching the pass. I feel like most quarterbacks have good hands. So I'd like to play tight end.
Well, if you look at some of the tight ends in the NFL, they're really not speed demons. Evan Ingram's maybe the fastest tight end, but Gronk was not a speed. He was just Mr. Sure Hands, and I'm going to run your butt over if you're trying to tackle me.
Yeah, he's got some. He's a big boy.
Kelsey's too busy trying to shake it off, but I don't know besides that. Go, Jeff.
You don't think you could play defense?
I played safety in high school.
I was gonna say, it's the flip side. You know what's going on. So
I like playing safety. They wouldn't normally let me play a whole lot of defense. I couldn't play defense until I was a senior. So, but I like playing safety. It was fun back there. I feel like again, I'd probably be that or a linebacker or something.
That's almost contradiction yourself almost, because you know why you got safeties and DBs, right? They're good hitters. They have speed, but they can't catch. And receivers speed and can catch, but if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's both sides of the ball. You can't catch with the dang with anything, baby.
I would prefer to play offense, though. I would definitely prefer to play offense over defense.
I'm surprised you didn't say kicker.
I punted in high school, actually.
See,
a lot of quarterbacks do punt.
I punted a lot in high school, actually.
That's not good. That means you weren't converting third down there, Grant.
Yeah, we struggled. We struggled back in my high school days.
They're going for it on 4th and 15. Why? The quarterback's back there. He's their punter. Are you sure? Yes, he's going to punt.
There's a lot of times where there wouldn't have anybody back there, and I'd have a 55-yard net because it just rolled.
That's almost a sign of disrespect, too. It's
yeah,
you don't have a deep safety. I can just play a freaking go with one of my gunners, and he'll be wide open.
It's true.
That's what I would call it on Madden / college football. I'm like, you're not going to put a kick return back there?
You giving me a free scouting report right now? Sounds good, Jim.
Dive.
I'm the douchebag that challenges plays that shouldn't be challenged because the game won't challenge it for me. But yeah. Any more questions in the chat? Not really. Favorite golfer?
Tiger Woods.
Oh, good. The GOAT. Good.
Woods.
You're in my respect. Okay. I think we've asked this question before through the wire, and you're in the state where one of these guys was born and raised in the northeast part of the state. Jordan or LeBron?
Oh man, that's tough. I feel like I said Jordan a lot as I was younger, And then, like, as I've gotten older, I see more. I don't know if it's because it's happening in front of my eyes or what, but I feel like I'm leaning more towards LeBron nowadays.
Recency bias, but yeah.
But I think that's what it is. I've always had a lot of respect for Jordan, though. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I was in like a Jordan jersey and little Jordans. So, they're both the GOAT to me. I know you can't really say that, but I'm leaning more towards LeBron. But I mean, they're both great to watch. I just watched that Netflix series that they just came out with. I forget what it's called, but it has like him, LeBron, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, and like a couple other NBA guys, but they go throughout the season with them too. It was kind of like a Hard Knocks, but with those guys. It was pretty neat to see, all the things that they do. Starting five, what it's called. It was neat to see what all those guys do and all the work and effort and money that they put into their body to make sure that they can perform. So,
Starting five.
Shout out to my wifey. She's on it. That's a good question. Brian. I would rather win a championship. I think I'd rather win a championship as a player. I like playing more than I like coaching. I miss you too, Khalil. Appreciate you, baby. But yeah, I enjoy playing more than I enjoy coaching, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. But I love to coach. We just won our school district championship this year, which was super special for those kids. And it's just it's a great age to coach because you just see them grow so much. So I do appreciate that. But like doing both, especially in such a short period of time, I enjoyed winning it playing for Wheeling than I did when we won it with my Jackson Middle School in Grove City.
Do they look you up? Do they like go watch your film and be like, Coach, why did you throw that pass?
They do that, but then it's like a lot of them, because there's that old clip of me doing like a front flip when I was young and dumb at ODU. So they always like bring that up, which is cool. But they don't. It's funny though, because like they won't look it up for a long time. They don't really realize that I'll play or anything like that. And then randomly, like 3 months into the season, like, Coach Russell, I watched your highlights last night. I watched all of them. And I'm like, oh, sick, dude, nice. And they're like, you were good. I'm like, see, now you know why I tell you to listen to me. I'm not just blowing smoke, So it's cool when they do that though, because then they're like, oh, he's pretty decent at the game. Like, I need to listen to this guy. So
I'm surprised you don't have a kid. It's like you missed that check down. You had a guaranteed 6 yard.
They do. No, I do. Yeah, I have one right now. He's a freshman. That I see every now and then, and he'll bring some stuff up, or he actually came to a couple of my games too, and was talking to me on the sideline. So yeah, it's a lot of fun being able to do both.
Yeah, there's always a critic, no matter what age group they are.
Especially 12, 13, or 14-year-olds, man.
Especially 12, 13, 14-year-olds on college football. When you hear them on your headset, you're like, do your parents know you're doing this? Nah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Just take this L and go cry somewhere else. I got to go to my next game. Jeff, you any more questions? Any final questions? We've been on for almost an hour.
No, I think we're pretty much good. There was a lot of good questions in the chat today. I'm really impressed with the chat questions.
You didn't do your starting five.
My starting five?
NBA.
Oh, my starting five NBA all time? Ooh. Man. All right.
We cannot go without finishing that question.
I'm going Shaq at center. Bron at forward. Jordan at guard. Magic at guard. Man.
Point's going to be hard.
Huh?
Or you want Magic point, didn't you?
I got Magic at point. I need a forward. I'm trying to think of another forward. I might as well go shoot.
Vince?
I was going to say Vince. I honestly was, but I'd say for right now, just throw Giannis in that lineup, and that lineup is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So just add Giannis to that, and that lineup is insane.
I would change a little bit. I'll actually get a true point.
Magic won the point.
I'll go. My team's a little weird, but also I go history further back in the NBA. My center is Shaq because Mr. Papa John's and Carnival Cruise guy. He has to be there. My power forward is another big dude you don't want to mess with, and he's a Hall of Famer. He didn't win a championship, but he can knock you out of the pain. That's Karl Malone. Like him or Charles Barkley. Give them in rotation all day. Point. I know I'm not. People are going to be like, really? You're going to have him at point? That old guy, Jerry West, back in the day. The guy can throw the ball on the dime.
He's the logo, isn't he?
Yes,
Yes,
he is.
sir.
Yeah, I mean, he's the logo.
Yeah. Shooting guard is Kobe.
Oh, fair. What am I doing? Gosh, RIP.
And my other forward is Jordan. And my other small forward is LeBron.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I don't know why I left them on, but
that's why I have
am I
rotation
doing?
with Barkley and Malone. You
I'm
can
just-
throw in Duncan in there too.
Yeah.
It's all interchangeable.
Or Nowitzki. Man, there's so many good guys who play power forward.
There are. That's why I know it took me a minute to try to think.
Like old school power forwards. The new generation power forwards, if Giannis is that new generation style,
Mm-hmm.
Al Horford is the old generation. He just learned how to shoot threes, and that's why he's staying in the game longer than he is. But yeah, that's my starting five with a rotation of two guys at power forward. What's yours, Jeff?
Mine would kind of be similar, but my point would be Penny. I'd put Hardaway at point, and then shooting guard would definitely be Kobe. And then my center and forward would be probably Shaq, and then I would run. I know Ewing was mostly center. I'd run him at forward.
What about Jokic?
Yeah, depends. I mean, we talking now, or are you talking? You know what I mean? It's hard to say what type of game you're playing, because if you're gonna, run all 5 tool players, then you're gonna have a little different look. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I like to play physical. That's me. So I'm gonna
Gotta get Rodman on that team, man.
Yeah, true, exactly. There you go.
You don't want to end up in jail, but okay. If you want to do that type of team, geesh, you got Rodman, you have Ron Artest or Meta World Peace, whoever he wants to be called. Who's the guy who played for San Antonio, the defensive guy? Finley? No, he was a pain in LeBron's neck every single year. Played for San Antonio. I'm not talking about Ginobili. I'm not talking about Tony Parker. I'm talking about the defensive. Starts with a B.
Oh, Bruce Bowen.
Bruce Bowen. Yeah. He was in your face. Stevenson still has one of the most epic gifts of all time, blowing in LeBron's face, and LeBron still drops, I think, 56 in that playoff game. Like, what are you doing, Stevenson? And homeboy from Golden State.
Oh, Draymond.
Draymond
Green.
Yeah.
Mr. 6-game suspension every time he steps on the court.
Whole team of bullies.
That would be bully ball right there. That'd be old school Detroit style basketball. This is the NAL podcast. Let's not talk about the NBA, even though the NBA is about to start. Grant, it's been a pleasure joining on the show to hope the fans in the NAL get to know you more. For the Willing Miner fans, remember to visit gowvminers.com for your tickets, or call Coach Rez or wherever. Jeff, I know there's more areas for them to contact for season tickets. The season tickets are on sale now.
Yes, West Banco Ticket Office. West Banco Arena Ticket Office.
What NBA player could play NFL? A lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just NFL players that just didn't go play football. They were dual sports in college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a good handful.
Some of the greatest tight ends in the NFL were basketball players in college and then played football until they got.
Antonio Gates.
Yeah. Oh, that's an old name right there, Antonio Gates. He's going to end up in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
But any businesses, any promotions you want to do, this is your time there, Grant.
Just you can give a shout out to my wife and my family, all of my students and staff at Jackson Middle School, and all you Wheeling Minor fans out there. I'm excited to get back over to Wheeling and get to work and getting around you guys again. And just excited, man. So I appreciate you two having me on. Means the world to me. And again, Wheeling, let's go get it done, baby.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for me and Jeff, we have been going on now for 6 hours this week of podcasting, me and you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Gee, I think it's a good week.
Yeah. And then I had my coach's show this morning. So I've been busy.
It's been a good week. I can tell you right now, Inside the Walls Network has over 10,000 impressions this week alone. Haven't really got the numbers of how many views, but without you guys, again, me and Jeff do this for dudes like Grant Russell. Like, this sport needs more spotlight for the players and the athletes that play this game. And I'm happy that I have a platform to get these players a spotlight in the industry. So, Grant, I know you're a coach, you're a player, you're home. I think it's been a long week for both of us, especially for the stuff about the applesauce deal in school. I think it's a good time to call it a night. Do you think, boys? We're good?
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.
It's been a heck of a week, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, we'll be back. Another episode of Inside the Walls podcast next Thursday. The announcement of the player will be named about this weekend. So keep track some more up-to-date news from Inside the Walls and more up-to-date information from the National Arena League. Visit nationalarenaleague.com or visit all 11 organizations' websites for ticket information for the upcoming 2025 season. That's Jeff. That's Grant. I am Jim. And Matt is somewhere, but he'll be back next week for another edition of Inside the Walls. Be well, be safe. We'll see you next week, folks.